Hi guys and welcome back to my channel. For today's video I'm comparing two concealers together. The first one is a cult favourite of a lot of people, also one of my Holy Grail concealers, and the other one is a brand new concealer that's just been released on the market, and apparently loads of celebrities absolutely love it. It's supposed to be full coverage and it is supposed to be a dupe of the high-end version of it as well. The two concealers that I'm comparing today are the MAC Pro Longwear concealer, which is a Holy Grail product of mine. I love it. I've not managed to find anything as good as this. It covers up everything, stays on all day. It's just amazing and I'm obsessed with this. I keep repurchasing it, and the one that I'm testing it out against is the EX1 Delete Fluid Concealer, which is a brand new product that they released I think either last month or the month before. I've seen this all over Instagram. Apparently loads of celebrities are using it on the red carpet. Loads of celebrities love it as well, and it has a lot of claims as well, so I'm really excited to test these products out because I love this concealer, and this one is supposed to be a dupe. It's so much more affordable, so if this one is as good as a MAC Pro Longwear, I think I'll probably end up getting rid of this. I'll use it all up, not purchase it again, and then I'll just have to purchase all these ones. So the price difference is quite big. The MAC Pro Longwear concealer retails for £18.50 or $23, and the EX1 concealer is a lot cheaper. It's £10.50 or $12.50 on lookfantastic.com. That's where I got this from, so I'm actually really excited to try this out because I love the MAC Pro Longwear concealer, and if I can find anything that's a dupe for it that is so much more affordable, I will be in love with it, and hopefully this is going to live up to everything that it says. So I'm going to go ahead and put my foundation on, then I'm going to come back and we're going to test out these concealers and see how they go. So my foundation's on, and the next thing to do is my concealer. Now I have three different shades of the EX1 concealer just because I wasn't really too sure which shade that I'd be, and what EX1 have done is they've named the shades exactly the same as their foundations. It's a lot easier so if you try to find a concealer that's going to colour match you, because you can just basically go for the same shade in concealer as you do at the foundation. They do recommend that if you want to spot conceal that you use the same shade as you do in the foundation, and if you want to highlight under the eyes they recommend that you do one or two shades lighter, and this way it actually makes it so much easier. So in the EX1 foundation I am a 5.0 or a 4.0 depending on how self-tanned I am, so I have 4.0, 3.0 and 2.0, so you can see that there is actually quite a big difference between the concealers. The one at the top obviously is the 2.0, this one's 3.0 and this one's 4.0. Now originally I did buy the 4.0 and the 3.0 and they actually looked quite dark compared to my MAC Pro Longwear concealer. This one is in the shade NC20, so this one has a warm undertone which is perfect to go with these concealers. So what I'm going to do is put these on my arm and I'm going to see which one is the closest match to the MAC concealer. So looking at the swatches, all three of the shades are very different. So number 4 is the darkest one, number 3 is very yellow, it has a very warm undertone, and the number 2 is the closest match to the MAC Pro Longwear concealer, which is absolutely crazy because the MAC concealer is actually the one that I use for when I'm self-tanned, and I have a feeling that if I try to use one of these concealers when I don't have a tan on, then it won't really work because I have a feeling it is going to be quite dark. So I'm going to go ahead and use 2.0 because that one is the closest shade to the MAC one. Just by looking at the packaging they look almost identical. The only real difference is that the MAC one is a little bit shorter and a little bit fatter, but they look very similar. They have the same top, they have the same clear bit where you have all the formula in there. So the MAC one is 9 millilitres or 0.3 fluid ounces, and the EX1 one is 8 millilitres, and honestly there's not really much in it, but there is a very big price difference. And the EX1 concealer says a highly pigmented full coverage concealer that instantly covers blemishes and imperfections, and the MAC one on the website it says that it's full coverage, covers all imperfections as well. So they say that they're going to do exactly the same thing, but I'm going to go ahead and put them to the test and we'll see how they go. The first concealer I'm using is the MAC one, and I'm only using one pump of this. This is what I use for all of my concealers. Every time I use this I only need to use one pump, and I'm going to go ahead and put it underneath my right eye. And I'm going to do a bit of a triangle motion because I like to cover up this and I also like to highlight as well. And this honestly is my favourite concealer. It covers up everything. I use it in all of my makeup tutorials and it's literally just amazing. So if I can find a drugstore alternative, I'll be the happiest person in the world. And I'm also going to use a little bit, and I'm just going to highlight down this side and on this side as well, and then I'm going to use the EX1 concealer on the other side, and we'll see how good it is at covering and how good it is at highlighting as well. And then on the left side I'm using the EX1 concealer in the shade 2.0, and I'm just going to put one pump on there. So it is a lot thicker than the MAC one. The MAC one does seem to be really runny, and this one seems to be quite thick, so I'm quite happy with this. Hopefully that means that it's going to cover all of the imperfections. So I'm just going to take this, put this under my eye and do a triangle motion. So the weird thing about this is that this one isn't actually even the lightest shade, and it's very yellow. This one has a very warm undertone, but this one looks almost yellow. So hopefully it's not going to look too different, and hopefully it's going to work quite well. I didn't use a lot of this concealer. I used pretty much exactly the same as the MAC one. So this one, you're not going to need a lot of this. You're probably only going to need one pump. We'll do underneath the eyes and then also down the nose, highlighting here and highlighting on the chin as well. So like I said before, the colours are quite different. This one has a cooler undertone and this one has a more yellow undertone. And this one looks more sheer. The MAC one looks more sheer than the EX1. So hopefully, because this one is thicker and it looks more full coverage, it is going to cover it more, but we'll see how it goes. I'm going to use my beauty blender to blend this out because that's what I use with all of my concealers. So I'm just going to see how this blends out. Now, I've used the MAC Pro Longwear one for years, so I know that it's amazing. It blends out like a dream and it highlights, it covers everything. Okay, so as you can see, that one blended out like a dream, like it always does. It covers up really well as well. Sometimes though, I do notice that the MAC one doesn't cover up as much as I like, so I do have to put a little bit more of the concealer on. So at the moment, it looks really good, just like how it usually is, and I love it. So I'm going to go ahead and blend out the other side. I have a feeling I've actually put too much of the EX1 concealer under my eyes because this is blending out really, really well. And now that I've blended it out, it doesn't look as yellow. So that is a good thing for me because I don't like to have a bright yellow under my eyes. I know that some people like to put bright yellow under their eyes. Also, using bright yellow baking powder, I cannot deal with that. So it's done really well. It's got really good coverage. So this is what the concealer looks like blended out. Honestly, there's not much of a difference at all. It doesn't actually look like I'm wearing any different concealer on each side. This one, which is the MAC one, does look a little bit like I have more of my dark circles peeking through. It does look really flawless though on the skin. And then the EX1, it's done really well. I didn't even think it would do this well. It's covered up really, really well. It blended out amazingly, just like the MAC one. And yeah, they both look really, really good. So I'm really impressed with them. And on my head, you can't obviously see any difference. Ended up that I mixed them anyway in my beauty blender, but they look really good. I'm happy, and I'm gonna go ahead and finish off the rest of my makeup, and I'm gonna come back and show you what it looks like. So I've just finished off my makeup and this is what it looks like, and honestly guys, I think we've got a dupe on our hands. This is amazing. Honestly, the EX1 concealer is so much better than I thought it'd be. I thought it was one of those concealers where it says it is full coverage and actually you only get light to medium coverage. I've tried one of those concealers before where they said that they're full coverage and it basically just didn't even blend out and it went everywhere and it just didn't look good, and I pretty much had no coverage. With this one, it is the complete opposite. Honestly, you get full coverage with this. It looks identical to the MAC Pro Longwear concealer. The colours are pretty much identical when you blend them out. They blend out like a dream. They don't look cakey. I used my airspun powder to bake with after this, and honestly, they both look exactly the same. They don't look cakey. They don't look horrible. They don't crease under the eyes. They both just look amazing. And I have a feeling that after I've used my MAC Pro Longwear concealer, I'm going to go ahead and purchase some more of the EX1 concealer because honestly, I really do love it. So at the moment, with my first impression, I love it. They're identical. It's perfect. It's the perfect dupe, and I will constantly be repurchasing it. So I'm going to wear these concealers for the rest of the day. I do have to go to work very soon. I won't be back till quite late, so I'm going to be putting these through their paces. I'll let you know if I like them or if I don't like them. I won't be giving you an update at the end of this video because it is going to be quite late when I come home, but I will put down below in the info box. I'll let you know if I like it or if I don't, and let you know if I will be repurchasing the EX1 concealer over the MAC Pro Longwear one, because at the moment I do really like it. I have a very good first impression of it, and at the moment I feel like it's a really good dupe. So this is my comparison of the MAC Pro Longwear concealer and the EX1 concealer. I hope that you enjoyed this video. If you tried out any of these concealers, and if you like them, if you don't like them, just comment down below to let me know, and make sure that you give this video a very big thumbs up and subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you in my next video guys. Bye!